Welcome to the Novice's Guide to Beer Styles podcast. I'm your host, Lauren McCaffrey, and today we're going to talk about the American Wheat. This beer has been one of the most accessible for people to try to get their foot in the door of craft beer, and that's by design. The modern version of this beer was created to be inoffensive to millions of macro brew drinkers in the United States. American light lagers dominated all sports arenas and backyard parties. They still do. The burgeoning craft scene of the 80s needed a style that would appeal to a similar palate, and the American Wheat is that beer for many. This beer is pale yellow to dark brown in color and ranges from clear to hazy, depending on the type of filtration the brewery decides to use or not use. The haziness is not quite like a New England or a milkshake IPA. You can still see through the beer. Using the standard reference method, we get a reading between 2 and 10 for its opacity. The American Wheat should be served around 40 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit into a Weissenglas or Spiegelau wheat glass. The Weissenglas is shaped like an elongated hourglass with less defined angles. The Spiegelau wheat glass, named for the German company that created it, is quite new and was created in collaboration with Bell's Brewing Company as the perfect glass for their American Wheat, Oberon. It looks like a miniature version of a Weissenglas with a bulbous round middle and a more tapered opening. They engineered it to give drinkers a better aroma experience. And these beers exhibit low to moderate bready or wheat notes in the aroma, along with some malty sweetness. Those roasty malt notes can be more pronounced in some of the darker versions of this style. The hop aroma for the American Wheat can be anywhere from low to moderate. The International Bitterness Units measure the isoalpha acids between 10 and 35 parts per million in solution. In this case, the flavor follows the aroma. Both maltiness and hoppiness can be low to moderate and should be balanced with each other in this style. Either can linger into the finish, but it's okay if the beer leans on the slightly hoppy bitter side. That finish should also be crisp, possibly dry. The body is very low to medium and can be medium-high to highly carbonated. You should definitely feel the bubble pain while drinking this one, but not the ethanol burn. With an ABV between 3.5 and 5.6%, this beer is not going to have you feeling the effects after just one pint. It was made light on purpose. You should be able to enjoy it outdoors on a hot summer day. When and where did this style come from? In 1984, Anchor Brewing Company in San Francisco was the first brewery to produce a modern American wheat using a regular ale yeast with 66% of the malt made up by wheat instead of barley. Owner Fritz Maytag wanted an easygoing lawnmower beer and knew what he had was special. Around the same time, the Widmer Brothers Brewing Company and Hart Brewing Company both independently created their own versions of an American wheat, with slightly different recipes that were distinctly different from a traditional German wheat. Today, this beer is generally made with 30 to 50% wheat malt, and the yeast can be ale or lager yeast. It just should never be traditional German wheat lager yeast with those distinctive banana clove flavors. In recent years, many brewers have added fruit to this style, and I can say firsthand that I've seen them sell extremely well. And with care, the brewer can balance the fruity notes with the wheat so that you get a very nice mixture of both. Again, a lot of these mid-range beers, the word to remember for them is moderate. In review, the American Wheat ranges in color from pale yellow to light brown, has an SRM measuring the opacity between 2 and 10. We've got low to moderate wheat and hop aromas, low to moderate wheat and hop flavor notes, an international bitterness units measurement between 10 and 35, a low to medium body, a medium high to high carbonation. It's often crisp, dry finish, and it's got a moderate ABV between 3.5 and 5.6%. It is refreshing. The American wheat is light enough to be an easy drinker and malty enough to be interesting. All right, that's going to do it for this flashcard episode. Check out the regular episode to learn more about the origin of this style on the West Coast at the beginning of the craft beer boom in the US. If you want to support the podcast, you can buy me beer on Patreon or coffee, or just find us on social media. And remember, drink less, drink better, and always enjoy.